Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Gaby U Show. I am your host, Gaby U, and today I have an amazing guest from Australia. And before we go into our discussion, I would like to tell you some things about her. So I have Martha Mok here. And so Martha Mok, she guides women who may have had a similar experience as she did, being in an abusive marriage, bullied at school since at a young age, and sexually molested by someone she trusted. She helped women find themselves again by not letting their past hold them back. She creates super confident women. Martha is also known as a super confident coach, international motivational speaker, multiple business owner, entrepreneur, multi-award winning international makeup artist and hairstylist and author. She coached in the areas of life, business, self-worth, and relationships. Her specialty is empowering new coaches to run their profitable coaching business. By using her knowledge and personal experiences, she empowers others to improve their life situation to achieve happiness by unlocking their potential from within. Also, opting for different strategies to unlock their fear and barriers allows them to find the strength to face their challenges. Her mission is no woman should suffer in silence. Martha was recently featured in Yahoo Finance as the top 1% of confident and business coach in Australia. And that is Martha Mok for you. Martha, welcome to the Gaby U Show.
Thank you so much, Gabby. Such an honor to be here.
Yes, so glad to have you here today. So, Martha, um, before we get into our discussion, I have my icebreakers question. I ask all my guests, just want to know some other fun stuff about you. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what is your favorite food?
I've been craving for Japanese food at the moment. I love
Oh,
Japan. I went there 8 times already. And like the first location that I'm going to be when the international is open, definitely going back to Japan.
oh, you got to. Oh, so you wouldn't. Okay, so you live in Australia. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but you don't. You have Japanese restaurants in Australia,
Oh
right?
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But because we have been in lockdown
Okay.
and it's just like really hard to get a certain food. Like when they deliver to you, it's not the same like as having it
Yes.
in a restaurant. So I kind of miss that,
Yes.
and we will have that probably for another month or two before we get out. So
Yes.
it will be interesting when we come out.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I love Japanese food. I've been to, not been to Japan to eat it,
Yeah.
but been to some of them with my family, and I love their foods.
It's
Yes.
amazing. It's a work of art. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate. When food is
Yes.
presented to you in an art form, you
Yes.
appreciate all the things that they do in there.
That's
When
right.
you're eating it, when you're enjoying it, you feel the sense of achievement of the chef that is preparing the food.
Yes. So it's kind of like you make use of all your senses when you are eating the foods.
Exactly.
Yeah, the taste, the look, all that, the smell,
Mm.
Yes, I know that. I mean, I love to cook and explore different kind of foods. In fact, I call myself the multicultural cook because I explore all kinds of foods, like
That's amazing. I am a
yes.
terrible cook, so I'm really getting bored with my own cooking. I'm very
Oh,
blessed that my partner, he's a Navy chef. So
yes.
he been doing all the cooking at home when he's at
Oh,
home.
okay.
So now he's on a 4 months deployment. Because I'm like, I
Oh,
miss your food so much.
yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, oh. So what would you say is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote.
Mm,
I feel like that I have my own saying that you don't need to be perfect to be confident. A lot of
mm.
us have always worry about how other people have judged us and how we have to turn out as an expert, as a professional in our view to get respect. I feel like that the first respect that we need to give is actually from within. When we respect ourselves, we don't care about what other people are saying anymore.
Mm.
In my terms, that I'm a confident coach. So I tell people to learn to be unconsciously and consciously competent in their confidence. So my quote will be, you don't need to be perfect to be confident.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And that is the thing too. I can relate to that quote, and it's how I have kind of done some things, and this is something I also talk to my girls. Like you have to do stuff to
Mm,
now build the confidence. If you wait
yeah.
to, you don't. You have to do the stuff. You can't say, "Oh, I have to be this way, perfect."
Mm,
This, just go do it. And as you get to
mm,
do it, your confidence comes. Like, "Oh, I'm not confident to do this yet." You do it first, and you make mistake. You refine it, and then
mm.
you become confident. It's
Exactly.
just waiting for that perfection. You just end up living this life and you never do it. you know.
Exactly. And
Mm.
I have a lot of clients that who worry about what if I make a mistake. And I always say that mistake is a path for you to get better. A mistake, like a lot of people get worried about, oh, what happened if I make that mistake again? That's what feed them the most. But the truth is, our natural human body reaction, if you are going to fall down once, yes, you may fall down flat on your face and have a bleeding nose and lose a few teeth. The next time you fall down, you know automatically to turn your body on a sideways so you won't hurt yourself as much as the first time. And based on that science, that's why we won't hurt ourselves the second time if we make the similar mistake. And it won't be the same result anyway because you know how to deal with that situation now. We only know what we know and we don't know what we don't know. And by
Yes.
taking action, making that little mistake, yes, it could be better, it could be worse, but you're learning something and taking that learning journey instead of a
Mhm.
failure. That's what I always teach my clients.
Yes. Oh my, you got hit the nail on the head. Because I actually have a quote that I kind of developed from that. The quote is failure is not a trait, but a
Mm,
temporary event.
mm.
So that
It
is my,
works.
yeah, that is actually, I have it, which is going to be part of my book. What is going to
Mm,
be, I think that's the title of my own chapter, one of the chapters. Because that's the
mm,
thing, people that say, "Oh, yeah, I'm born to fail. I always fail at everything." It's like,
mm.
no, that's not your trait. You just have to, you fall, you get up, and you keep going. Make the adjustments. But like you say, like, okay, this didn't work here. I have to try this way. If that don't
Yeah.
work, and it might take a lot of time, before you get there. And
Yeah. I always say to people one of the
mm,
way that you can find more time and
mm,
have a better return on investment. I'm a business person
yeah,
and have higher productivity. Is the only thing you have to do is to stop second guessing yourself.
mm,
The time that we spend on second guessing ourselves to doubting ourselves instead of taking action is enormous. So if we
yes,
want to save some times and get higher productivity, it's definitely the first thing is start learning to trust ourselves. What
mm,
could be worse? It's worse when we don't take an action because we will never get
mhm.
a result.
Yes, I love that, because and that is where I have mentioned that a lot too. I've talked to so much about it that I'd rather be in a place
Mm,
where I tried the stuff and I found out it didn't work than being in a place where I'm still thinking like, I wonder what it would have been. I wonder,
mm,
wonder, wonder. I don't want
yeah.
to be in that wonder, wonder. I want to be that,
I,
oh, I tried it, it didn't work. And so,
I agree with you completely. I actually
Mhm.
say to my partner,
Mm,
I'm a no maybe person. To my life, it's either
yeah,
go or not go. There's no
mm,
maybe.
yes,
Maybe is in a painful state.
yes,
Pain is a situation, but suffering is a choice. So
yes.
I don't choose to suffer in the maybe. I just do it or don't do it.
Yes, so good. Oh my. So yeah, that's your quote. It has a lot of big stuff around it. We could talk about it all day. That is great. So, Martha, I want you to share with me the key things that you feel like have shaped you to be the woman you are today. I want you to share your victories, your struggles. Is it from your health, from career, relationships? Just go all the way as much as you can to share with us today what you feel has shaped you.
Okay, you'd probably need a 10 hours recording on that because I do talk a lot. But let me start with my career change. Let's put it
Mm,
that way.
yeah.
I was in a 19 years abusive marriage. I was someone that who were being bullied at a very young age. And the hardest thing for me to admit was being sexually molested by someone I trust. I'm an Asian girl from a traditional family background. I was told that a woman should just put their head down, do their work, be the wife, be the sister, be the good daughter, and just do our work and keep our mouth shut. That was what I was brought up in. But when I developed my own career in the makeup world, I found myself that, hey, I can be different. Hey, I can be quirky. Hey, I can be and make a name for myself. So I did. I did that. Despite that I was in an abusive marriage, I used my work as an scapegoat. I escaped to all part of the world because I'm so blessed that I get fly to all over the world to work. I get fly to do a lot of things that I never dreamed that I could do being a makeup artist. A lot of people think that makeup is a hobby. Go and get a real job. That's what a lot of people told us to do. But the truth is, they don't know that I earn six figures in a year and while I'm only working 2 days a week. So there you go. That's what my life was before I became a coach. When COVID hit, everything changed. It changed so many of us. It touched us in so many different ways. My business, all my businesses have to be shut. I run a wedding gown business. I run a wedding decoration business. I run a wedding dress business. I run my makeup academy. Completely shut down because there's no more face to face. And I was crying for about 2 weeks because I have all this bill, all the rent that I have to pay, and I have to use my savings to actually cover it. How long can I last? I really don't know. That was the moment that when I put myself into a pickle and say, what else can I do? I'm so grateful just before COVID, I met my new partner. He is such a caring, amazing guy. And he's also a coach himself. So he said to me one day and say, you know what? I can see you on a stage talking to millions of women, inspiring them and sharing your story. Why don't you consider to go that path? And I'm like, you know what? My trauma therapist, yes, I've been through trauma therapy. And she told me that, Martha, one day you could become a counselor. You could become someone that will help other people. And at that time, I think that was out of reach. I'm in such a mess. Really? I can be that person? So based on the fact that when my partner suggested and COVID hit, and after my recovery, because we do need to give ourselves some time to grieve. We do need to give ourselves time to get our mind back into the right spot. It is the mindset that we need to be. We have to understand that there's a balance between our belief, our want, and our how to. So once I find myself in the peace again, I started pursuing a coaching world. And it wasn't smooth roll either. The first coaching class that I went to promised to give you 11 scripts. So you can do 11 sessions for your client. And I thought, oh, that will be an easy way out. I don't know anything about coaching. This one sounds good. So I invested $6,000 on this coaching company. And the first client, like friend that I practice on, she literally stare me on the face and think, what the hell am I talking about? And I look at the script again and say, yeah, you're right. It doesn't make sense. Then I put down those scripts and use my own knowledge to solve her problem. And it worked. It helped her. And I'm like, what the hell happened? That I just spent $6,000 on a script that I cannot use. So again, I was in shock. I don't know what to do. I was so worried. And then I said, you know what? I really enjoy helping other people. I really enjoy to share my story. And remember, I was someone who was in silence for over 30 years. So sharing my story was so scary. I felt like I was in Miami on a stage with a spotlight shining in my butt crack. Basically, that's how I felt like. That was how raw I feel. Not to know that I could actually keep my underwear on first and not actually share everything and take little things step by step. And I'm like, wow, that was a learning. And then after that, continued to invest on myself. And I was so grateful to find lead generation strategies. And using that, I was able to have my first client within 10 days of launching my business. Within 3 months, I was already able to get what a lot of coaches want, a 10K month. So I was able to continue all of that as well until the first December. I started my work in June, and in from December I was already overloaded. I have what people say is a good problem to have. I was overworked, I was overloaded, I was overburnt. So I took about a month and a half off from work, and during that time, my cat for 16 years passed away. She was the only thing I have in life. She was the only one that who would stay with me when I was crying and when I was going for abuse. She was the only cuddly thing that I can to keep me sane. And she passed away of the age of 16. It was really tough for me to take. 3 months, I was in depression again. I was functioning at a zombie state. A zombie that I can work, I could coach on business, but anything to do with emotion, I was not coping. Not until I invest on myself again into doing neuro-linguistic programming, which is what we call NLP, that changed my life. I realized that I have no control over the past. I have no control of what other people do, say, or act. But I have control in my current moment, this moment. And I don't want to think too far ahead about my future because that is not real. And the only way to ensure my future is by acting on what I'm doing this current moment. And I remember when I come to that realization, I text my partner immediately. He was on a deployment mission. And I said to him, baby, I found myself again. I was living like a zombie for the last 3 months. Thank you so much for sticking up with me. I have my temper moment, I have my frustration, and you still stuck with me. And I thank you for that. I really appreciate you. But I find myself again now. I find myself and I know that I am in control. Wow. That sentence, I am in control, that brought me back to reality. That brought me back to Martha. That brought me back to me. And based on that, I tell him, don't ever call me controlling again. If you call me controlling again, I probably will lose my way. And I find out why he said that I was controlling. Because I'm such a caring person. And I'm like, okay, it's like if you have kids, you're like, baby, try this, eat this, it's very good. Eat it, it's very nice. You have to eat it because it's so nice and I say so. That's what I was. So I didn't realize I was turning my care into control. So now I always say to myself, you know what? I'm going to control my life, control my action, control what I'm going to do. But I will have a balance between care and control with other people. So they don't have to feel control because no one likes to be in control. Like, come on, like who likes to be controlled? Who likes to be told what to do? No one does. Then why am I doing it to other people? So I need to put my care on the timeline and not enforce what I care about on other people. And that's like a wake up call for me again. I become a better person. And I always say one sentence now, to help me and remind me of my journey, that I respect the other people model of the world. Their belief and their value are to be respected. And I respect the other people model of the world. So I don't get angry anymore. I used to get very angry when things doesn't go on my way because I'm a very strong woman.
Mhm.
And now I don't, because I say that's their way, that's their belief, that's their value. It has nothing to do with me. Wow, that take off so much pressure on my shoulder, and it bring me my real smile again. And I was doing a presentation last night with a bunch of new coaches, showing them my story. And I told them I was the greatest pretender. I was successful in my business. I was on stage speaking to thousands of makeup artists. I was flown all over the world, having luxury handbags, eating fine dining. And you know what? The one thing it doesn't lie is my smile. My smile have actually shown I was not happy. I was lonely and I was empty. And looking back at my smile today with my partner, or even any of the shot that I have taken, I changed so much. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity to change, because I started doing something that a lot of people are scared to do, taking action and not letting my past hold me prisoners. Because my past is only a learning. It's a wisdom that I learned to make myself better. And it is always going to be there to give me wisdom. I'm no longer scared of my past. I give myself the control and I give myself the power back, because when we don't give our power away, the people who used to hurt us cannot hurt us anymore. So I take my control back, take my power back, and became more powerful than the people who used to hurt me. So, Gabby, that's my story.
Wow, that is amazing. So many nuggets from there. I mean, it's this is the real turning your lemon into lemonade, sweet lemonade, I always say.
Mm.
You know,
Definitely.
I mean, it's one of those things that, you could just keep, you know, having the victim mentality and say, hey, this
Yeah.
happened to me and that's why I'm like this and all that. And it's tough, things happen to us, it's not fair. But
Mm,
this, like you said, you can't change the past. This has
mm,
happened now. Now
mm,
it's like, what do I learn from that? Well, how do I move on to be
mm,
a better person? And this is where we talk
mm,
about your purpose. Some things
mm,
happen for a reason. And and of course, some of these things that happened, they were very painful. But
mm,
sometimes, I know it's kind of weird to say that, but you'd be like thankful that that happened, because
mm,
now you start seeing a purpose of why this happened, and how
yeah.
you are able to now use this to help so many people, which if it hasn't happened, I don't know, I know it kind of sounds like, oh, but that's just a painful thing that happened to me. But yeah, this is how
Yeah.
life is, that, and this is why, I started a show like this,
Mm,
because I relate to that, because this is one thing for me. Growing up, I was also, a victim of sexual abuse from
mm,
people that's supposed to be taking care of me,
mm,
and for many years, I just shared with few people. And when I was starting this podcast, I
mm,
didn't think of sharing that story, but it just came to a nudge. I need to share the story.
mm.
And it felt like a heavy block was taken off. And,
Yes, it did.
just trying to tell. And I find that a lot of people go through this, they just keep this. But it was a thing to let people know that despite all this happen, look at where I am. It's supposed to be something that has scarred me, but it did not.
Mm,
And this is, I guess you can relate to that too with your story, that those things were supposed to have scarred you. I mean, of course, there'll be a scar, but you didn't let the scar to just keep hurting you. So let me put
mm,
that like that. Yes, a scar from those things that happened, but you didn't let it. to keep hurting you. And
Yeah.
finding of course, having the right people around you helps a lot, which for you,
Mm.
living an abusive marriage and now getting a partner that is very supportive of what you do, or even give you, he's like the angel that said, hey girl, you can do this. And because sometimes we have all this potential, we have things that we cannot see, but other people see it in us.
Mm.
And that is why it's so important, for if you have a purpose or you have something you want to do, to get a coach,
Mm.
a mentor. You don't have to figure this alone. You get
Yes.
somebody, and there are a lot of ways. I always talk about it. You can go through a lot of mini interviews, so to speak, with different coaches to see which one aligns to you. And you probably did that, like you talked about, you starting out with that program, which you spent all that money. It didn't work, but that didn't make
Mm.
you to give up, to say none of those things work. You still went ahead and invested in another thing, like, okay, I'm going to try another one. And,
Mm.
it helps. And that is where a lot of people sometimes they try stuff one time and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, this didn't work. I spent all this money. I did all this. I wasted my time. Maybe this is not meant for me, but it just maybe it's not the right time or it's not the right person. And it doesn't mean it's not going to work. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I
and
could
my
just,
advice to people is stop paying those $7, $29, $49 for those classes, because they are just taster. They're not really going to help you with the main issue that you're going to have. There's a reason good coaches charge what they charge. It is
yes,
because the value that you're going to get from it. I
yeah.
know that all my students said that you undercharge, Martha. My package isn't cheap, and there's like you undercharge. You're giving us so much, like it's incredible. But I said that I love you guys and I charge a premium price already and I'm happy of what I'm charging.
Yes,
So if I at my stage that I wanted to be able to help as many as I can. And that's where I come in. And you mentioned one thing, that it was one sentence I heard yesterday. Life happened for you, not to you. Life happens so we can learn, we can be better. And I recently did an open letter to my ex-husband. It was on another podcast that was so powerful. It was like the last straw that I have. And I said, with complete forgiveness, that I tell him how good my life is right now and I wish him exactly the same. And that was like the final piece to my puzzle. Yes, when we've been hurt, we have a wound there, but a wound previously, without training, without a coach, without a mentor, what you do is you put a band-aid on it and it just keep bleeding. And you put a band-aid so you can't see it, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. So my approach is to take off that band-aid and I will be holding your hand to look at that scar so you can let it heal. Let it heal to the point that it doesn't become a trigger. When it comes up again, that creepy crawly feeling that you're feeling, you will be able to say, hey, you know what, that's a trigger, I'm aware of it now I let it rest in peace. It's true, we only have 134 beats per second of consciousness in our brain. There's so many senses that are coming from all around us. There are about 2 millions information coming to us every second. So our brain can literally only function 134 beats. So think about it, like you are having a jab. The doctors or the nurses will distract you, but it's by talking to you one sentence and you forgot that, oh, I'm not nervous anymore because, oh, that's done, yeah, that's done, oh, okay. Like I see video online that when kids getting their jab, they're like crying and everything, and then you distract them and then they, oh, what, finished, that was it? Is that, yeah, that was it. So we as human, we like to create all this what if that happened? What if that thing? But that hasn't happened. And we're in control of that. Have a work out what is in control and what is not in control of you. That's what's making it different.
hmm, that is so true. And you mentioned that thing of having those triggers. And this, I think
Mm,
I mentioned in one of my episodes, probably maybe my first episode, that even though what I went through, I have triggers. Triggers comes, but then because I have developed the different strategies, I'm able
mm,
to reverse it and say, nope, not today.
mm,
We are moving on. We're not letting the triggers to
mm,
hang on, and
mm,
that is the thing for anybody that has gone through any kind of trauma, abuse, anything. Yes,
mm,
you are not gonna be that this things is totally forgotten. You're gonna
mm,
have triggers. This is life. And it's just knowing you have the tools, you have the strategies of how to get that off. Like, okay, and
mm.
so yeah, that is
And that's what a coach will do for you.
mhm.
I used to think that I will be able to fix everything. I will be able to internalize it and I will be able to help myself. Not until the moment that I completely break down to the point that I lost my smile, I lost my hope, and I lost my light. And it was at that moment that I was so grateful. One of my friend, he's actually also in the mental health area. He's going through some trauma, and he find this hypnotherapist that just starting out. And I'm like, oh, and she does trauma therapy. And I'm like, okay, excellent. I would love to give it a try. So I had an interview with her. She likes me. And you know what? We become best of friends. It's not about money anymore. We help
Mhm.
each other out. We support each other. And that's what is so beautiful about networking and finding the
Yes.
right people to help you, because I didn't know I could ask for help. I was too shameful. I was too scared. Hey, I got this really shiny mask on the outside. No
Mhm.
one knows that I was rotten inside.
Mhm.
So asking was hard, but not asking and staying in pain is even harder, because by asking, I started to see light. I started to see more way. I stopped thinking all about those negative things, what if? And I started to look at my future with hope. All we need is that little hope that we can be better one day. And we turn the hope into will. I will be that person. And when you're there, you'll be proudly wearing the badge and say, I have done it. And that's where I am now. From I hope, I will, and I have.
Yes. That is a good one. I could get that quote and put it in my office. Probably need that and give my kids like because I have all these my teenagers that get
Mm,
discouraged and all this. Like I think I need to give them. Then put
yeah,
this on
yeah,
your
yeah.
phone so you can see this. I love that. Yeah. Are you guys listening and just making notes? And you can, rewind this and listen. We are dropping some nuggets here. This is so great. Oh my goodness. So Martha, what would you say um, you are most proud as a woman? I mean, there's so many things I'm sure you're proud of. From talking to you, I could pick all the things, but if we just want to put it in a bowl, summarize it, like what is that thing that you're like, yes, I am proud of this as a woman that I, did
I'm
this.
proud of my confidence. That's
Mm-hmm.
definitely the first thing, because despite whatever happened to me, I didn't lose my confidence. I was hiding in a lot of area, but as soon as I go to work, that was actually when my confidence comes out. But one thing that I'm truly grateful for of doing is asking for help. I know how it feels to stay in pain. I know how it feels that I want to put it under the carpet. I know how it feels, that how much shame and guilt that you have in asking for help. But listen, it takes twice the courage to ask for help than staying in pain. And pain is a situation, suffering is a choice. So when is the time to stop this BS? I call it belief system or bullshit, whatever you wanted to call it. When it's time to stop this BS and start looking after you? Isn't it time to get out of pain and start looking after you? And I can't answer that for you. You have to be the person that asks for it. Without you asking for it, you won't have motivation to keep going.
Yes.
A lot of us rely on willpower to do something. Just like the chocolate, just like the ice cream sitting there, it's very hard to actually stay away from, because there's no motivation in there. It's only pure willpower. And willpower is short lived. So why not find out why you wanted to do it? And when you start asking, that's where the motivation come in. The motivation come from when you decide to ask for help, and never treat asking as a weakness. asking is a strength because
See,
you are better than the 89% of the people who didn't ask.
that's right. And what you just said is, talking about willpower. What I just came to my mind is talking about mindset, mindset reset.
Mm,
Willpower is short-lived. It's
yeah, it
that
is. It
that
is.
tank. It's finished. It's finished. If your mindset, your why, those two things, they
Mm,
are the things that will keep you longer,
mm.
longer in whatever decisions or you make. Yeah.
You have to find what is important to you because
Hmm.
that is your motivation.
Hmm.
Without that, that's called willpower. And
Yes.
willpower is always short-lived.
Yes.
You don't need like a lot. I hear a lot of people keep saying that I need more motivation. I need more motivation. But if you find out what you need at this current moment, that is a natural motivation for you.
Yes.
And that's what I learned from mastery in NLP. I'm a master prac in NLP. It makes the difference to know how our brain and our mind work. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity. And my partner did inspire me because he is also an NLP prac. And
Oh.
I love him for who he are. I love him of the way that I recently did something. Okay, it's a secret, okay? Hopefully he won't find out yet. Uh, His birthday is coming up and I know he'll be at sea. And I'm thinking, what birthday gift can I give him? And when I think of that, Facebook, as you know, they always listen.
Oh
They come up
yes.
with a way that I can give him a gift. It's a songwriting program. So I actually put down some of the lyrics and I got a songwriter and develop a music together for him. And the song is called Belonging to You. I like belong next to you because I find my sense of belonging next to him. Not the fact that I belong to him. No, I belong to me. And he gave me that power of finding myself again. So I find my sense of belonging next to him. So
That
that
is.
was what that song is about and
Oh
how
my
grateful I
goodness.
am to him.
Yes. You're giving me ideas now.
Yeah, oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's expensive, but it's worth it.
I'm thinking I have my 20 years anniversary in November, so I'm like,
Oh, okay. I got to send you the link of where to do it, and I tell you what not to do. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we need
Yeah,
to
I'll tell
connect
you
on
what not
those.
to do, and then you can make up your own mind. No problem. Just find me later. I'll send you the link for it. But it's really
Okay.
beautiful because I'm a very romantic person, and I believe
Yes.
in message is better than like buy him an expensive gift. And one year
Yes.
I remember I bought him they're called no cube. So they got a lot of messages inside with a photo about all your experience to your loved one, so they can read all the cards that
Yes.
there was in there. It's actually a really like lovely gesture gift. And I gave it to him last year and I'm like, how I'm gonna top that? What do I do to top that?
Yes.
And I'm like, I think the song is pretty good. So I will probably go into a little bit of a pickle next year. What do I do?
Yes. Like, okay, what can I top on that again?
Yeah, like
Oh my
I
goodness.
literally ace it every single year.
Yes. Yeah, just figure out this one go, then the next year, something will come up,
Yeah, I'll think something that will come out. I like something
No,
new
no
may
need to,
come up, making it
yeah, no
special.
need to worry about that. How do I
Yeah.
know? Let's get this one first.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Mhm.
It's still another 2 months before his birthday, but I
Okay.
hope that he can have in reception. He can listen to the song.
Oh,
And I hope, you know what? Maybe he will be home early. I'm really hoping for that because
oh.
his deployment is until November. So
Where is he
who
deployed
knows?
to?
Maybe he will come home early. And if he's home early, then he can actually listen to my song.
Yes, where is he deployed to?
I have no idea at the moment. He's
Oh,
on the HMAS Canberra ship, which is one of the very big ship in
okay.
Australia,
Oh,
and they are somewhere. I have
somewhere
no
in the
idea.
sea.
I have no idea.
Is it?
Last spot was in Darwin. That's all I know.
Oh
But
my
then
goodness.
I have no idea
Well,
where it
that's
is.
the thing
Then I,
then.
I keep saying to him, yeah, you're like on a secret mission, isn't it? You can't tell me where you're going.
Somewhere
So
in the seas, in the
yeah, and
water.
and that is true, and that's what bring into it. A
Mhm.
military wife or military girlfriend needs to have a certain security and confidence about ourselves, because when they can't tell you what they're doing and you can't contact him for days at a time, it
Yes.
does bring up a lot of insecurity. And that's what I teach women, how to get that insecurity tame.
Mm,
Tame, okay? It won't go away. It's tame. So you
yes.
can find your confidence from within to face a situation that you may be facing. So that's
Yes.
what I actually teach people to do.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's what my actually my brother, my oldest brother,
Mm,
he's a Navy. I mean, he's reserve, and
mm,
he's had all these travels. And I tell his wife like she's a strong woman. I mean, she's
mm.
has a good big restaurants there in America, in New York. And I was like, yeah, you're a strong woman because when your husband travels to all these places,
Yeah.
it's it takes another kind of
It is. It is a completely different kind of mindset that we
yes.
don't need them to fill us up. We do
Mhm.
like their attention, their
Oh
validation,
yes.
but we don't need to stick to them when they are not here. Like I'm very
Yes.
sticky. I actually admit that I'm very sticky when he's here. I love to cuddle up on him and everything.
Yes.
So that's me. Like I can
Yeah.
become this really soft woman next to him. But when he's
Yes.
not here, I turn back into myself. I turn back into
Yes.
someone that who's very that there's no there's no no maybe. I said yes or
Yeah.
no, and I'm an action taker, and I'm very result driven because I learned I have wasted 40 like over 40 years of my life into being not happy.
Mhm.
The last 2 years, I finally find my happiness. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to make my life happy
Yes.
every single moment of my day. And
Mhm.
it's just a choice. Life happens for you, not to you.
Yes. And not to, we don't want to start regretting because I've had, I mean, personally, maybe I have gone through that as well, but a lot of us, have that thing that, oh, I wish I discovered this, is
Mm,
this, 10 years ago, what would I have been? I mean,
mm,
it's the past. We can't, you
mm.
know, enjoy the future and into the present and into, from the present to the future. There's no, I could have been, but it's not. You can't go back
Exactly. And you never know what would
there.
happen next. Like there's
Yeah.
like always new opportunity coming up, always new
Yeah.
technology, always new chances.
Yeah.
Just be open and be center and granted with yourself so you don't start chasing shiny objects. And if you
Mm.
need support, get a coach. I'm here.
Yeah.
I look after women in the area of life,
Yes.
like love, relationship, and business. So I am a
Yes.
one-stop shop that I can
Yeah.
help you with
You
everything.
get it all.
So yeah, I'm so grateful that
Mm.
my old shop used to be called the one stop shop because I
Oh.
believe in helping people in every area. I don't need to be like the top of everything on my game because we can only excel in something that we're really good at. Guess what? I'm good at developing my life back. I'm good at my relationship and I'm good at building business. So why not excel all of them in there? But I'm
Yes.
terrible with technology. I admit that. So I got really good people coming to help me with technology. I'm bad with my copywriting. Great. I got a publisher to do that my copywriting. You are always going to excel on something you excel in. And what you're not good at, there's a button called delete, defer, and delegate. So choose them
The
wisely, then
three
you
D's.
can have your life back. Yeah, you can have more life back just by knowing how to use those Ds.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know what you're strong at, and you
Yeah,
know what you're like. Yeah, I'm not good with this, but I know who to do. I know the
exactly.
resource. I know who to help them with
Mm,
it.
mm. And it's by taking that mindset out of
Mm.
not focusing on what we're not good at. Your return on investment, if you can excel in what you're really good at, which is that's what I did in confidence. I excelled it, and my return on investment is 300% plus. But if I focus on technology, for example, oh, it's something that I'm really not good at. My return on investment is only 30 to 40%. As a
Mhm.
business person, I don't do that because I focus on what I excel in. I don't focus on things that like I remember like the first coaching course that is like, no, you need to be good in the area of well-being, spiritual health, exercise too. I'm like, I don't do any of that. You know
Yes.
what? I'm not going to be fake and tell people something that I don't do because people can smell fear
Oh
and
yes.
fakeness a mile away.
That's
Just be
right.
authentic. Hey, I don't do exercise. So if you want to talk about yoga, I need to refer you to my friend.
Yes.
Hey, I don't do technology. I can refer you to my friend. That's how we're going to do things. It's no
That is
shame
strength.
admitting what you
That is
can't
strength right
do.
there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like no, like if that's not me, then that's not
Yes.
you. Don't try to keep fake it till you make it. You can only do it to a certain extent, and
Yes.
knowing that you can achieve it. That's the difference. When
Mm-hmm.
you fake it till you make it, it's because you know you can get there. But
Mm-hmm.
not going into an area that you will never get there. Like I probably will never be a fitness model. Like put it that way. So that's not what my focus is. My
Yes.
focus is getting healthy. That's a
Mm-hmm.
different term at
Different
all.
levels. Yeah.
So like be honest to yourself about what you can do and what you can't do. And it's not a can't, it's just that it doesn't worth investment to spend so much focus on it. It's better for you to focus on other area and all the other things will come in for you. And like I always said that I'm really a very technology challenge. And guess what now? I teach people how to use Canva, like Calendly, how to set up all of this. I teach people all of that. And it's
Yes.
not a bad thing to know all of this as well. And like I didn't particularly focus on learning it, but I have to in my process of learning. That's all it is. And that's
Yes.
what life will happen to you. So don't be scared. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should post something out. I'm not good at writing my content. The message doesn't flow today. And all that BS, stop second guessing yourself. Just go and do it. And that's how you will learn.
Yes. I so much believe in that. Get started, make mistake, refine,
Mm,
and keep going.
exactly.
Wow. So you have kind of there are so many encouraging things you have mentioned today, but I just want you to put in a summary of some or one encouraging word you want to give to our listeners today.
You don't need to be perfect to be confident. You just need to start taking action, and the universe will give you what you want. And to help all of you, I wanted to give you guys a book that I written. It was during the time that when my cat died, and my ex-husband for 3 years he didn't contact me, and he sent me a text message and telling me that I was the worst person in the world, that he blamed me for my cat's death. So at that moment, I turned into 3 months of depression. And during that time, I written a book called Action is Proof because I have a choice to stay in bed and cry the whole day. But I didn't. I woke up and start making breakfast for myself. And then I woke up and start mopping the floor. I feel terrible, but I will not give the power to him to control me anymore. So this book is called Action is Proof. And I wanted to share with your listeners that I hope that will give them some inspiration of what to do when you are stuck in a pickle, because I help you to become a better version of you every single day. And inside there, there's also an empowerment call. If you feel like that, you got a story you want to share, you couldn't find someone you trust that you can talk to, guess what? Talk to this stranger, because this stranger have no judgment. She have no criticism, and she's just here to listen and see if she can help you. So I invite you to come in and enjoy me. Download my book and also download this free gift that I'm going to give to you so you can also be heard, because my mission is no woman or man should suffer in silence.
That's right. So this book is it in your website?
Oh, it's in my, I'm going to send you a link
Okay.
on it and you can download it from there. It's a free
Okay.
ebook. It's a good
Okay.
e. Mhm.
Oh, that is so great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Matter, what other ways can people connect with you? If you want to share your social media handles, your website, if you
Yep.
have it.
You
Okay.
can go to Google and find super confident coaching. I'm the first one that comes up.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Mm.
And what is your social media handle on Instagram and
Oh, you
Facebook?
can put, I got a link tree, so I can
Mm,
share that with you later and they can click
mm,
in. That's all my social media platform.
mm.
I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Instagram. So if you
Yes.
search Martha Mok, super confident coach, you will be
Okay.
able to find me.
Okay, awesome. That is so great. Thank you for that and that's sharing that ebook. And so, Martha have these links to share with me, and I'll share it with
Mhm.
all of you listeners. So if you are watching this on YouTube, I will have it on the description area. And if you're listening to it on any of the podcast platform, it will be on the show notes. So you have this link to connect with her, have the opportunity to get that book, make use of all these resources. I think it will really be very beneficial,
Mm.
and help a lot of us all here.
Mm. Thank
Yeah.
you for having me on your show.
Yeah, so glad for you taking the time to talk with us today. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so we're gonna end this episode today with my favorite quote from Maya Angelou that says, "When you know better, you do better." And so, guys, I will see you again next time. Bye bye.